pastor here at the Wayside Presbyterian Church in Hamburg, New York. So how can we live in peace, love, and compassion in this world, having conflicts with peoples around us resolved? The ancient writer Paul said in that little letter called the Philippians to the church at Philippi, that to live a life of peace, we must have the mind of Jesus. He said, let this mind, this thinking be in you, of Jesus, who being in the form of God, did not consider his equality with God as something to be exploited. What does that mean? How can we have that thinking? Well, I think it starts with the understanding that we are one with God. He did not consider his equality with God something to be exploited. Jesus saw his oneness with God. We read that many times in the early church writings. For us to come to a sense of peace, the ability to let go of those things which torment us with guilt and shame and anger, we too must see, I believe, ourselves as one with God, our Creator. When we see that and remember that and live by that, it can bring us great peace. Now, of course, some people say, well, only, I guess, religious people have that, or high religious people like pastors and priests, and popes and ayatollahs, the Dalai Lama, and perhaps some gurus, but not I. That would be arrogant. Well, isn't it arrogant to think that you alone can solve your problems and live life and die in peace without fear? I think that itself is the example of a false humility. So if you want the ability to live with neighbors giving up attack thoughts and judgmental thoughts and anger, being able to forgive them for what they have done to you, then you must see yourself one with the God Almighty, the everlasting Spirit, which is indeed what we are, because we're not our bodies, we're not these temporal forms or manifestations, but we are spirit. God is spirit. And Jesus was the one who was able to walk to remember who he was, one with God in spirit. He taught that God was spirit. He taught that that presence was accessible to every one of us, just for changing our thinking. And when we see ourselves as spirit, well, we don't take the matter, the physical world, and the universe around us nearly as seriously as we once did. As the ancient Bhagavad Gita says, the things of this world, the things made of matter, well, they create such things as pleasure and pain, heat and cold, but they're just matter. We have to learn to just put up with them. They come and they go. So on one Sunday, we may win, and people throw palm branches at our feet. We walk on their clothes. They say, Hosanna, you are the man. You are the one who has come. And a few days later, they may say, oh, you're not the one. They may hate you. They may want to kill you. They want to put you on a cross. All these things just come and go. We don't take them so seriously, do we? If we understand ourselves as one with God as Spirit. So then, I understand that my knowledge of the world is all incomplete. I see the world through a glass which is darkened. I don't have all the answers to the fiscal crisis problems of the world, problems of global warming, problems of relationships. These I can have a hunch and I can learn through my God-given intelligence and access to education, which are very important. But these are insolvable. The wars, the hunger, the inequalities, that will go on in bodies until the end of the world and the universe comes. So I don't take myself quite so seriously in the problems around me. And my body becomes like a manifestation of that which is beyond, eternal, love, compassion, forgiveness, and tolerance, joy and laughter. Now, when you think of organized religions, is that what you think of? Sadly, many of us don't. We think of intolerance. We think of bigotry. We think of crusades to eliminate people who don't think like we do. The mind of Jesus? I don't think so. You see, it's very tempting as religious people to bring our misperceptions, our illusions, to God and then try to change God to fit those. Was it Mark Twain who said that God made man in his image, and then man, being the gentleman, returned the favor? So rather than bringing our illusions to truth, we need to turn around and bring the truth to our illusions and to change our thinking to that which is eternal, that which is spirit. And when we do that, we will find God's peace. We will become a community of tolerance and love. So let this thinking, this mind be in you which was in Jesus, the one who taught us of God, the one who was killed by religious people because he was too tolerant, too loving, and too forgiving, even at the moment of his death. But think of yourself as one with God, as spirit, eternally, of not understanding completely anything in this temporary world, because it is only temporary, and then living with a holy detachment, teaching and manifesting in your body love and hope and joy to all others. This is Dave Persons, again, pastor at the Wayside Presbyterian Church, wishing you today and throughout this week God's eternal peace. Goodbye.